Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. This is the second semi-final in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, and we have Bradford hosting Wycombe for a chance to play at Wembley, taking on Peterborough in the final. Bradford, the home side, are currently in League 2 and are sat 13th and are 9 points off the playoffs. But in this competition, they have won every game so far, including the 3 in the group stages when they came up against Manchester City's under-21s, Grimsby and Barnsley. The quarter-final game was against fellow League 2 side Doncaster, where Bradford came out winners by a goal to nil. For Wycombe, they are having an uneventful season in League 1, currently sat in 15th. But in all 3 knockout rounds in this EFL Trophy campaign, they have come up against under-21 sides in Fulham, West Ham and most recently Brighton in the last 8. Despite not being in the same division, these 2 sides have already met this season in the FA Cup first round. It was here at Valley Parade, and it was Wycombe who went through, winning 2-1. This is Bradford's first semi-final in this competition, but for Wycombe it is their second ever semi-final and are both looking to reach their first ever final in this competition. So, for the 17th meeting between these two, will it be Bradford or Wycombe who will book their spot at Wembley for the EFL Trophy final? This game almost didn't take place. The pitch looks not in great shape, let's put it that way. It looks like a bit of a mud bath. Lots of areas of the pitch don't have grass, it's just mud. And there was a pitch inspection before it. The referee went around certain areas of the pitch and bounced the ball a couple of times. The ball didn't really bounce that well, but they've got the game ahead. It's not been great weather this week, especially in the north of England. It's just been raining pretty much all day for the last 3 days. And this pitch at Bradford I don't think they've had any games postponed due to weather. They've almost played through the poor pitches in the torrential weather, and the pitches obviously struggled to recover after the games have taken place. But they've been able to get this game ahead. Like I say, the conditions won't be great. We might not see a lot of football on the floor. It might be a lot of long balls forward. But it's ahead. The game's going on, which we've got to be glad about. And it is a spot for these 2 sides at Wembley to take on Peterborough. The final is on the 7th of April. And for Bradford, this will be their first journey back to Wembley since 2013, where they visited Wembley twice. Bradford, they went there in the League Cup final where they were beaten 5-0 to Swansea. Then they were there again a couple of months later when they played Northampton in the League 2 playoff final and they won. So they haven't been at Wembley for almost 11 years now. And for Wycombe, they were there recently during the COVID times. They were there gaining promotion from League 2 themselves into League 1, I believe. And they've also had stints in the Championship as well. But for these 2 sides, neither of them have ever reached the final of this competition. The last semi-final that Wycombe reached was in the 2017 campaign where they were knocked out by Coventry, and this is Bradford's first time ever in the semi-final of this competition. They are 5-time quarter-finalists now, but this is the first ever semi-final they've reached. They are under a current manager of Graham Alexander, who was brought in at the start of November. He actually got Salford to the final of this competition back in the 2019-2020 season, but was sacked before the final took place because the final was pushed back a year due to COVID, and by the time the next year came for the final to be taking place, he wasn't in the job anymore. So he wants to try and get Bradford to the final, and hopefully he would still be in the job by the time they get there, if they reach it. But interestingly enough for Bradford, they've only conceded 2 goals in this competition so far. They have kept 3 clean sheets in a row in the knockout stages. They have never trailed in a game in this competition so far. So it has been a real good distraction for Bradford because they've had a pretty poor league campaign. They are in 13th at the minute, just 9 points off the playoffs, but they had a bit of a rut where they sacked Mark Hughes, their previous manager, and brought in Graham Alexander, but it took them a month to bring in their new manager. And to be fair, in that month, player who starts tonight, Kevin McDonald, he took over as player interim coach, head coach, and he actually led them to 4 wins out of 7. So during that time when they were looking for a new manager, they actually went on a decent little run. But overall, Bradford, this isn't good enough in 13th spot in the league. They should be really in the league above, in all honesty. Last season, they'd reached the playoffs. They finished in 6th place, but were beaten in the playoff semi-final to Carlisle in extra time. But this is underperforming for Bradford. Yes, it's great that they're in this semi-final and they could be booking a trip to Wembley, but at the end of the day, the main aim is promotion and the playoffs, and at the moment they are quite far off that. But if they can get a run of form together from now till the end of the season, they could be back at Wembley again. If they can reach it tonight, and they might reach it in the League Two playoffs. And for Wycombe, they are quite far off the playoffs as well. They're in 15th place at the moment. They finished in 9th last season, which was just outside of the playoffs. Unfortunately, they were 8 points off the playoffs. But we know in these leagues, in the Championship, League 1, League 2, you go on a good run of form. You win 3-4 games in a row and you can shoot yourself right up the table. But they are showing close-ups of this pitch, and the pitch condition looks absolutely horrific. I am quite surprised the game's on at the moment. Obviously, it won't be called off now. It's a little bit too late, as we do get the referee leading out both sides. And tonight's referee is Tom Reeves. He mainly referees in League 1 and League 2. And there are both sides, Bradford and Wycombe, here at Valley Parade. Or it's known as the Bradford University Stadium, whatever it's called, but we're not going to call it that. We're going to call it Valley Parade. We've not had great attendances in this competition for Bradford. They've been averaging around 3,000 when the ground holds 25. So it's not usually a tournament that gets the fans into the stadium, but when you get to the semi-final and there's a chance at Wembley, it almost pulls the fans back in a little bit. But we'll go through both sides now, as you can see them on screen, and we'll start with the home side. It's going to be Colin Doyle in goal, 6'5" Irish goalkeeper at the age of now 38. Back three of Jonathan Tompkinson, Sam Stubbs and Kieran Kelly. 4 across the midfield, right wing back of Brad Halliday. On the left is going to be Alex Gilead, and 2 central midfielders, 2 very experienced central midfielders of 34-year-old Kevin McDonald and 33-year-old and captain tonight, Richard Smallwood. And then 3 up front. On the right, it's going to be Clark Odwar. On the left is going to be Callum Kavanagh, brought in from Middlesbrough in the January transfer window, and leading the line up front is the leading scorer in this competition, and that is Tyler Smith. He's got 6 in 4 in this competition, including a hat-trick against Manchester City's under-21s in the group stages, and also scored a brace against Liverpool's under-21s in the second round. For Wycombe, it is Max Striek in goal, back 4 of Jack Grimmer, Joe Lowe, Ryan Tafazoli and Luke Leahy, who was signed for £100,000 from Shrewsbury in the summer. 2 holding midfielders of captain Josh Scowen and Loney from West Ham, Freddie Potts. 3 behind the striker. On the right is going to be Gareth McCleary. On the left is David Wheeler, and in behind the striker is a number 20 on loan from Forest, and that is Dale Taylor. And leading the line up front is Sam Vokes, who has been at the club since July 2021, and he's got 28 goals for Wycombe in his previous 120 appearances for the side. And they are the 2 starting 11s for Bradford from their last lineup against Wycombe in the FA Cup when these 2 sides met in early November. It is just 4 survivors of Halliday, Stubbs, Smallwood and Gilead. And for Wycombe, there is just 4 changes from the last lineup against Bradford in that FA Cup first round tie. Patterden, Boys, Phillips and Sadler are not in the matchday squad. Phillips, in fact, I think on loan now at Aberdeen. And for the survivors, it is Striek, Tafazoli, Lowe, Wheeler, Leahy, Potts and Taylor. So these 2 sides have met already this season. In the FA Cup first round, it was here at Valley Parade. The first meeting between these 2 was 29 years ago now. It was a 2-1 win for Bradford at home. And that meeting in the FA Cup first round was the first meeting between these 2 since February 2019. So there is a little bit of recent history in this fixture, as there is a place here on hold for Wembley, who will take that ticket to take themselves up against Peterborough in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy final. It'll be Wycombe to kick us off, kicking left to right, Bradford right to left. It is not a great pitch. It's not in fantastic condition. It is rather wet. It is rather muddy, and it is rather in not very good condition. But we'll see what kind of football we get here at the University of Bradford Stadium. As it'll be Wycombe to kick us off. We're going to wait for the referee's whistle of Tom Reeves. As up for grabs is a spot at Wembley for the EFL Trophy Final to take on Peterborough, who defeated Blackpool last night by 3-0. And we are underway here as Bradford play out to their left back of Luke Leahy. Down the line it goes, cut out by Bradford's Tomkinson, and then it cleared away by Smallwood, and it'll be a throw-in for Wycombe on the far side, taken quickly in behind into the box looking for Vokes, but the goalkeeper Doyle was quickly off his line to collect the ball there, and it is now Bradford in possession, trying the quick free kick there, quick throw in there. Wycombe try to catch out the Bradford defence, as they are currently 3 wins in a row at the moment. Bradford, their last loss came 6 games ago on the 27th of January against Swindon. As it is Bradford throwing on this near side, just inside their own half here with Gilead, who's playing left wing back, the number 11. He's throwing, is cut out there for Wycombe, and they're back in possession here. It's their right back Grimmer sending it down the right hand side. Header away by Stubbs for Bradford, and headed forward here for Wycombe. Can they get the ball under control? No, they can't. The ball will eventually drop here to number 26 of McDonald, who fires in behind. It's Taylor who takes the shot on it straight at the goalkeeper. Tyler Smith needs to be doing better with that, the leading scorer in this competition. He was found beautifully in behind there by McDonald, and the ball dropped to him in the midfield. He sent it over the top, and he was onside. He got in between the two centre-backs, and as he entered the box, he hit it low with his left foot, and he hit it straight at the goalkeeper, Max Striek. But that was poor from Tyler Smith, who needs to be doing a bit better than that. As Bradford send it over the top again, and it'll roll out of the box, but it's time here for Striek to clear it in a left-back position. He clears it with his left foot, and it goes straight out to play. Bradford throwing midway side the Wycombe half on the far side. Thrown goes down the line, finds Smith the striker, goes into the box to Odwa, who gets beyond one Wycombe player, and in the box he tries to strike it, and that balloons over the crossbar and wide. Just in the corner of the box there on the right-hand side. Clark Odwa, who was brought in on a free from Barnsley in the summer. He actually scored against Barnsley in the group stages of this competition. That's one of 4 goals he's got this season in all competitions. Came through the Leeds Academy. Clark Odwa can play at full back, but he's been more utilised in an advanced position for Bradford this season. As the ball goes long from the goal kick, it's won by Stubbs for Bradford, cleared forward by Smallwood, up towards Kavanagh, who flicks it on, but he can't find Smith. It goes through to Tafazoli. It goes to his goalkeeper Striek, goes long towards the Wycombe right-hand side. Wheeler can't win the header, comes off Gilead instead, and there'll be a Wycombe throw-in midway side the Bradford half on this near side, where it'll be taken by Jack Grimmer. The right back, former Scotland under-21 international, featured for Scotland's under-21s now just under 10 years ago. As he has the ball back from the throw-in, kicks it off Gilead, and that'll be another throw-in for Wycombe in the final third now, with Jack Grimmer to take once again. Contract expires at the end of this season for the Wycombe number 2 right back. Didn't start the game between these two in the FA Cup in early November. As his throw-in is headed away in the box, and Wycombe go back towards Tafazoli, being closed down by Kavanagh. Can work it back to the edge of the box to Striek, who goes long, kicking it away first time, deeper to the Bradford half. Header won by Stubbs again for Bradford. He's won so many of his headers so far. Sam Stubbs. As Wheeler for Wycombe, again to the edge of the box. It's headed away by Stubbs, played forward by McDonald here to Odwa. Smallwood in the midfield. He goes back here to Kelly, and then cleared forward by Stubbs. Headed away by Tafazoli on the halfway line. Finds Vokes on the edge of the area. Back to goal. So brings his Wycombe teammates into play, and then he receives the ball back, and that's a late challenge there. I think that's by Kieran Kelly. It's a free kick on the edge of the box here for Wycombe. It is Kelly, the culprit of committing the foul. Well found there, Vokes, by Gareth McCleary, a 36-year-old winger, and Vokes, the 34-year-old striker, who was brought down. It is a rather older squad tonight for Wycombe Wanderers. That attacking 4 have got a 36-year-old, a 33-year-old, and a 34-year-old. It's a perfect distance out this, about 22 yards out, just to the right side of the box. So it's the angle for the left footer, and that looks like it's going to be Luke Leahy, who's got the 8 goals in the league. He is Wycombe's top goal scorer in League One. He's just got 1 in his last 8 though, and has 1 in this competition. in the group stages against Crystal Palace's under-21s. And if you were to put the ball down for a perfect place to take a free kick, I think Luke Leahy would probably place it around about here, just outside the box, 22 yards out. Can the League One side take an early lead? Luke Leahy stood over it, and so is Gareth McCleary. And it looks like they both could take it. They've got this body shape to take it. McCleary runs over it. Leahy takes it straight into the wall, poked away by Odwar, and then recycled into the box here by Grimmer towards the far post, where it's volleyed across, comes off Halliday, and it'll be a corner on the far side for Wycombe. Ball was put in the box there by Sam Vokes, and it was dealt with there by Brad Halliday. So I'm just making sure my mic's on there. So it's Wycombe who have put in the early pressure on Bradford, despite them having the first attempt of the game through Tyler Smith. I think the referee here, Tom Reeve, just sorting out any pushing and shoving in the area, not wanting to give any fouls away, wants the game to play. It's Bradford who've got the defending to do. Ball goes in, it bounces into the box, it's volleyed away on the penalty spot there by Odwar. And it'll go through for a Wycombe throw-in on the far side. It's a poor delivery by Gareth McCleary, who puts his arm up in and apologises for the weak cross that was delivered into the area. But it looks like we could get a long throw-in here for Wycombe from Luke Leahy. It will go towards the front post here for Wycombe if they can win the first flick on here. In it goes. That's a huge throw-in. Headed forward by Bradford. Can't be cleared by Odwar, who'll get a second try at it. He's tripped from behind there by McCleary. And it's a free kick for Bradford, and they survive the first real continuation of attacks there from Wycombe. They were putting balls into the area there, but it was dealt with eventually. And it'll be Colin Doyle, the Cork-born goalkeeper, to take this free kick for Bradford. And there is their manager, Graham Alexander, who has took charge of 21 Bradford games. He's won 11. Just one loss in the last 9 in all competitions. So he's got them picking up positive results more often than not. As it is in the centre circle for Bradford. Forward into the Wycombe half here with Kavanagh. He's got Grimmer following him all the way. He goes back and then the ball's played forward in behind. Look for Gilead. Cleared away there by Lowe for Wycombe. On the halfway line now is their number 20 of Dale Taylor. Loses out though to McDonald in the midfield. And it's now Smallwood for Bradford. Chips it out towards the right hand side. In behind for Halliday. McCleary will chase it down. He'll kick it out for a throw-in. Good working back there by the Wycombe winger, Gareth McCleary. On that Wycombe left hand side. Following Halliday all the way there. It was a inviting ball in behind by Richard Smallwood. As Halliday takes the throw in short to Smallwood. Back towards Halliday. Clicked away again by McCleary. Another throw in the same position for Bradford. And Halliday can throw them in long. Opted to go short that time. But he can put it in towards the near post. Throws it short again to Odwar. Back into Halliday, who crosses it first time. It deflects off Leahy. And it'll be another throw in for Bradford in a similar area in the final third. It'll be taken again once. Again by Brad Halliday, who's playing Wycombe for the 10th time in his career. Just the 2 wins against them previously. As Halliday throws it into the area, this time a bit longer. Header away though for Wycombe. And again, it will be another throw in. That time it was headed away by Freddie Potts, who's on loan from West Ham United. And they've gone short with the throw in here. It's with Smallwood, midway side the Wycombe half. Inside to Odwar, who can keep the ball moving for Bradford. Goes back to McDonald, out to the right to Smallwood. Back into number 26 of Kevin McDonald. Ball forward to Odwar. And then out to the right here to Smallwood. He's going to go for an early cross into the box. It deflects off a Wycombe player. And bounces behind for a corner. Again, deflected away by Freddie Potts for Wycombe. As the away side had the first spell of domination in the first 5 minutes. And the last 5 minutes has now been taken up by Bradford with them on the ball. But they've got a corner on the far side here. I think it'll be taken by number 11, Alex Gilead. Odwar instead goes into the near post, flicked onto the far post, and it was aimed towards Stubbs. Lost out at the far post, and it was touched behind by a Wycombe player for a Bradford throw-in on this near side. Not a bad ball in there. eventually by Bradford, and they've got another throw in here with Alex Gilead. Not got many short options. I'm presuming he can throw it decently long, really. Unless they're waiting for someone else to come and take it. He's going to go long. Eventually decides he's going to go long. Oh, then short, fakes it and goes short. And gets the return from the throw. And it's Gilead, the left wing back. Has to go backwards here towards McDonald. Who chases towards his own half here. And he puts a cross into the box. It's a high one. He's nodded down by a Wycombe player to Odwar, who will strike it from the edge of the box. And it was going towards the top right corner. It just went over the crossbar. Was always rising there. But it's not a bad attempt from Clark Odwar. It was a good nod down by a Wycombe player. Saying that like it was a Bradford player who nodded it down. It was a poor nod down really there by Tafazoli, the Wycombe centre-back. And it fell to Odwar, who struck it nice with his left foot. Couldn't quite get over it enough to keep it under the crossbar. But both sides have had spells on the ball now. And they're both comfortable with the pitch condition. As the goal kick is headed inside by Wheeler. Controlled by Vokes, but gives it straight to Smallwood. His pass just gets away from Kavanagh. Down the right by Grimmer. Header away by Stubbs. And it's headed on by Kavanagh. Drops to Grimmer. There's a bit of head tennis going on here as it will drop in the end to low for Wycombe, who turns away from his goalkeeper and clears it down the right-hand side. It's a long ball chased down by Vokes, just slightly too far ahead of him. So he'll let that one go for a Bradford goal kick. He is at the age of 34 now, Sam Vokes, so doesn't quite have... Well, he's never been known for his pace, Sam Vokes, but with his pace he's got now at 34 years old, he was never going to get there. And it'll be Bradford to restart on the ball from a goal kick. Do have 2 wins in a row in the league at home. Bradford, 3 wins on the bounce altogether. No losses in their last 5. And they have won all 6 games in this competition this season, 4 of them at home. And their most impressive was away. They beat Derby County away 1-0 in the last 16 to get to the quarter-final stage. Bradford, which was a superb result. And for Wycombe, they've had to beat under-21 sides to get to this point in the knockout stages. They beat Fulham under-21s 3-2, West Ham under-21s 2-1, and the Brighton under-21s 4-1, all of them at home. As it is in the Bradford midfield, headed forward here by Smallwood. It'll be chased down by Kavanagh. It'll be Grimmer to get there first, and he just kicks the ball away for a Bradford throw-in. Midway inside the Wycombe half, taken quickly. It's a long throw-in by Gilead towards Tyler Smith, who keeps it in and then looks back for Gilead. It deflects back to Smith, who goes to Gilead. Across it goes to the edge of the box. It avoids McDonald and out to Halliday. 25 yards from goal here, the Bradford right wing back. Finds Smallwood, then out to the right to McDonald, who on the angle, on the far side, plays it forward here to Tyler Smith, and then back into McDonald on the angle. Curls it down the line, looking for Halliday. It's kept in. He goes down over near the corner flag. Last touch off Halliday. Goal kick for Wycombe. That challenge was made right in front of the assistant referee on the far side, and nothing was given there to Brad Halliday, who seemed to go down under a slight nudge there from Gareth McCleary, but from the angle that I saw, it didn't look like there was really much in it. As it does look like Graham Alexander is in the stands for this one. Don't think he's actually on the touchline, the former Salford boss. Presume he picked up some kind of ban at some point. Striak, the goalkeeper, sends it long into the Bradford half, flicked on here, and to Taylor, who flicks over the head of Tomkinson, but on the recovery was able to get his foot around the body of Dale Taylor and clear away for Bradford. It was almost an inch perfect touch over the head of Tomkinson there by Taylor. But it is a Wycombe throw-in on the far side with Luke Leahy. Throws it into McCleary, returns it to Leahy, then back to McCleary in the final third. 1-on-1 with McDonald, onto his right foot. He lifts it into the box, to the far post. Vokes nods it across, and it's into the hands of the goalkeeper of Doyle. Confident goalkeeping there by the 6'5" Irish goalkeeper. Good play there on the Wycombe left to get it into the box to the far post, but the Vokes header just lacked pace. It was just a looper straight into the hands of Colin Doyle, who's going to kick this out of his hands, out to the Bradford right. Towards Odwar, header away by Leahy, straight out of touch for a Bradford throw-in, about 15 yards inside the Wycombe half. If you are new, if you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you to everyone who is here for this EFL Trophy semi-final. As the throw-in goes long down the line, it's cut out by Tafazoli, who will clear it in a left-back position. It's a high clearance beyond the halfway line, headed forward there by Kieran Kelly, straight into the Wycombe midfield, where they can work it out to the right-back of Grimmer. And then back here into Joe Lowe, who will play it down the Wycombe right, controlled by Wheeler, loses out to Gilead. It's now McDonald on the halfway line, turns away from Scowen, the Wycombe captain, and there's a bit of time on the ball now at the back for Bradford on the edge of the 18-yard box with Stubbs. Goes into the goalkeeper of Colin Doyle, who's all of his appearances this season have come in this competition, with the 3 clean sheets. There's Doyle. Again, out to the right-hand side for Bradford. Header won by Tafazole, all as far as McDonald, who plays it forward. Midway side the Bradford half. There's a foul there on Tyler Smith by Joe Lowe. And it'll be a Bradford free kick taken quickly out to the left to Gilead. Edge of the area, cutting onto his right foot. He'll strike it towards the bottom left corner. Didn't quite catch it. It just almost slowly rolled into the hands of Max Striek in the Wycombe goal. He does have that quality in him. Alex Gilead, who hasn't scored yet this season in this competition, despite featuring in the previous 6 games. 2 of them being starts, both in the last 2 games in the quarter-final in the last 16. As Wycombe go long, header away by Stubbs out of play for a Wycombe throw-in on this near side in the Bradford half. It's been quite an even game so far, opening 15 minutes, which is what we like to see. Valley Parade. Throwing down the line by Grimmer. Flicked away by Kelly. Cleared, but can't be kept for Bradford there by Kavanagh. Grimmer, ball forward, cut out by Gilead. Inside into the midfield to McDonald, who lifts it over towards Odwar. Can't quite control it. Taken away from him, but then won back there by Kavanagh. And Luke Leahy got away with that with the loose touch for Wycombe. And it can be cleared by the goalkeeper of Striek. Goes long up towards, I think that was Taylor. And he fouls Stubbs there as he tried to win the header, and it's a free kick for Bradford, taken quickly out to the right, and as Stubbs took it, the ball was still rolling, so the referee commands that the free kick is retaken by their number 15 of Sam Stubbs, who is a Liverpool-born centre-back, joined in January of last year from Exeter. As Bradford go long again into the box, looking towards Tyler Smith, it drops from Tavazoli with the shots from Kavanagh, and it just misses that bottom left corner. They are causing some issues at the back there, Bradford. Long ball forward by Kelly. And again, the header was won by Wycombe, but they couldn't find a teammate of their own. It fell straight to Kavanagh, who from the left-hand side cut in onto his right foot, touched into the area, and he had this shot, and he just dragged it wide. But that's twice now that Ryan Tafazoli has headed the ball away for Wycombe. He's won his header, he's done his job right, but his header's gone straight to a Bradford player. And he's got away with it both times at the moment, but that's the closest Bradford have come. As Wycombe try and get the ball forward, header away there by, I think that was Kieran Kelly, and that'll be a Wycombe throw-in, 10 yards inside the Bradford half. Unfortunate there, though, from Callum Kavanagh to just strike that one wide. Joined very recently in the January window from Middlesbrough for an undisclosed fee. And he has already got 2 goals for Bradford since joining. They both come in the last 2 games against MK Dons, and the only goal in their win against Sutton, who currently sit bottom of League 2. Leah here, left back for Wycombe. His ball forward is cut out by Halliday. Smallwood down the line towards Odwar. Can't quite find him on halfway, and Leahy hurries the clearance. And that'll be a throw-in midway side the Bradford half. But for Wycombe's manager, Matt Bloomfield, it's a year in charge now. He took charge of 57 games, 21 wins, 21 losses. But just the 2 defeats in the last 12 in all competitions, so they've not been losing a great deal over the winter months. But they still are only 15th in the table. But they did find a respectable draw at home in the weekend when they took on Oxford and drew 0-0. And for Bradford, they've won it back off the right back Grimmer. Gilead, ball inside. Smith can't quite take it under the control. And it's cleared by Tafazoli. You feel like the chance is going to arise for Tyler Smith, and it's just a question of if he'll take it. He got an early chance in the second minute, but struck it straight at the goalkeeper, and he is finding opportunities in behind this Wycombe defence. Gilead, the wing-back, takes the throw-in. Kavanagh, nutmegs Grimmer, enters the box, and then tackled by Scowen. And there'll be a corner on the near side for Bradford, who probably over the balance of the first 20 minutes have probably been the better side so far, despite being a league below. But they've looked dangerous when going forward with the likes of Callum Kavanagh and Clark Odwar when they're getting on the ball. But it looks like it's going to be a right-footed in-swinger here for Bradford as they surround the 6-yard box. Header away at the near post there by Scowen. And it'll be a throw-in here for Bradford. They take it quickly here to Smallwood. Back to Odwar, who drives inside from the left flank. Plays it forward here to Kelly. It's now Gilead to Smallwood. Forward to Odwar. It's now out to the left to Gilead. Down the line, looking for the centre-back of Kelly. Just goes too far in front of him. Can't control it. And seen behind by Grimmer for a goal kick for Wycombe. Just a simple pass like that needs to really be completed by Gilead. Couldn't find Kieran Clark, the centre-back, who found himself in a left wing position there. So with Max Striek to take it. The Wycombe goalkeeper who left his home nation of Poland to join Sunderland in January of 2013, and he's been in England ever since, in the UK, ever since, dabbling in Scotland as well, where he joined from Livingston 2 seasons ago now. As Wycombe have a throw in here on the near side, won there by Joe Lowe, as he had to just see that ball out as he was being chased down there by Tyler Smith. Throwing down the line by Grimmer into the Bradford half. Headed inside by Wheeler. Misses Taylor. Cleared by Smallwood. It's something for Smith to chase. And it'll deflect off his back straight to the right back of Grimmer for Wycombe. His clearance takes a nick off Kavanagh. And it'll be a throw for Wycombe towards the halfway line. As the away side on the road in the league haven't got the greatest of records. They've won a quarter of the games they've played. 4 wins in 16. Just the one in the last 10, which was against Cheltenham earlier this month. And they have lost 4 of the last 8 away from home in the league. As he throws it down the line here, Grimmer. Header away by Kelly. Played forward by Grimmer. Scowen kicks it off McDonald. And it'll be a throw for Wycombe again, just inside the Bradford half here on the near side. As Jack Grimmer is just waiting for the ball to be given back to him here. And eventually the ball is thrown back to the right back. And there is Matt Bloomfield, the Wycombe manager, in conversation with assistant Richard Thomas. There's Grimmer running down the line. Runs straight into the brick wall of Gilead. And it's now with Kevin McDonald, midway side the Bradford half here. Bit of time on the ball before being closed down here by Scowen. Goes back here to Stubbs. Then back once more to Doyle, the Bradford goalkeeper. Out to the right towards Tompkinson, whose touch is heavy. Out of play for a throw-in for Wycombe in the final third. Can't really blame Jonathan Tompkinson too much there. The Norwich loanee, as the pass to him from Doyle wasn't the most accurate. Was almost away from the American under-23 international. It looks like Luke Leahy is going to throw this one long into the box here. The Wycombe left back. And he launches it into the box towards the near post. Heading away by Halliday for Bradford. And it'll fall out towards the halfway line here for Lowe. Clips it back into the box for Wycombe out to the right-hand side. It is headed forward there by Wheeler for Wycombe, but got no direction on it. Straight out of play for a Bradford goal kick. As it looks like the rain is returning in Bradford. As the pitch is already in a bad state as it is. We don't need more rain to make it any worse. As we did have a pitch inspection before the game by the referee. And obviously we were given the go-ahead to get the game playing. As Bradford go long up towards their striker of Smith. Loses out to Tafazoli. Vokes wins the header on Stubbs. Goes down over the challenge there, the Bradford man of McDonald. And that'll be a free kick to the home side. Just a bit of a shove in the back there by Scowen. And Bradford play it quickly in the air out to the right-hand side. Header won by Leahy. McCleary inside here for Taylor, who then clips it out to the right. It's a good ball into the space. And it finds Sam Vokes in a right wing position. He lays it off to Grimmer, the right back. Now on the halfway line is Potts. Through towards Grimmer, and it's seen through to him. And he cuts it inside here. Flick through to Vokes into the box. Can't quite find Taylor. And it's an offside flag up anyway there, I think, on Dale Taylor. But first decent bit of football on the ground we've seen. I do sympathise with both sides that playing football on the ground probably isn't the best option with the state of the pitch. But they were working it nicely on the ground there. But an offside flag went up in the attack. As there is other games going on tonight, we've got Porto, Arsenal and Napoli, Barcelona in the Champions League. They're both still 0-0. Of course, so Liverpool playing as well in the Premier League. I'll try and find out what the score is with that one. As Odwa keeps it in the right wing position in the final third. 1-on-1 with Tafazoli. He's got an overlap and he finds it. Halliday crosses it. It's a low one. Comes off Tafazoli. And it will be a corner for Bradford on the far side. Bradford are well in this game, despite being the team in the lower division. They've definitely proven themselves to be a good outfit and a challenge for Wycombe as the corner goes in. It's an in-swinger, it's a header away by Tafazoli for Wycombe. That should be another corner and it will be on the opposite side. Odward's ball was aiming towards Stubbs on the 6-yard line, but the header was won instead by Ryan Tafazoli. 6'5" strike at the 6'5" defender, so no shock that he was the one to win the header there. Another in-swinger, right-footed this time to the near post, header away, but straight back to the corner taker here of Smallwood, who goes inside to the box to Odwar, back out to Smallwood, down the line for Odwar. Can he cross the ball towards the byline? He tries to take on Scowen, who will win the ball back for Wycombe and keep it in on the byline. And Scowen in a right back position can clear it down the line. And it will find McCleary here. Counter-attack on for Wycombe. He's driving inside, gets beyond Halliday, tries to play the ball through. And it's cut out there by Stubbs. Poor ball really, looking for Potts in behind. And Liverpool are currently trailing at half-time at home to Luton by a goal to nil. Ogbene with the goal. We know Liverpool do have a lot of injuries at the moment, but it's still a strong lineup. You'd expect them to beat Luton, but we know Luton have been challenging for a lot of teams this season, especially at home. So Bradford throwing on the far side, midway side the Wycombe half here. That'll be Halliday to take. Again, they've got the option of going long in towards the box, or they can go short, and they've gone short to Kavanagh. Back to Halliday. Now forward to Kavanagh. Round the corner looking for Halliday. He'll keep the ball in here. He'll take a few touches and tries to get around Potts. Halliday still has it on the edge of the area. Has to go back to McDonald to keep the possession. He tries to cross into the box, blocked there by Dale Taylor. And there'll be another throw-in for Bradford on that far side. Still goalless here. 28 minutes in. When these two sides went in the FA Cup this season, it was already 1-0 by this stage. Wycombe had already taken the lead in the 18th minute through Phillips. Bradford still attacked down the right, and Halliday tries to get beyond McCleary. The last touch comes off Halliday, so it'll be a Wycombe throw-in in a left-back position. Good tracking back again there by Gareth McCleary. Wycombe fans have travelled up to this game. 6-hour round trip. Hopefully for them it'll be worth it if they come out victorious tonight. As Wycombe clear it forward through Taylor, I believe, but it's gone straight through for the Bradford goalkeeper on the edge of the box here with Colin Doyle. He's only ever faced Wycombe once before, and it came in the League Cup in 2008. It shows how long Colin Doyle's been playing, the 38-year-old goalkeeper. As Bradford go long, Tafazoli scuffs the clearance, but he can get a second try at it, and he lifts it down the line for McCleary. Ball inside now for Potts. Goes back to his goalkeeper in the 18-yard area, Strick. Takes no chances, clears first time up to the halfway line. Header won there by Kelly, and then headed forward by Halliday for Bradford. Odwar can't control it, cleared by Tafazoli to McCleary, who kicks it off Tomkinson, and that'll be a Wycombe throw-in on halfway on the far side. Did well to keep it in there, McCleary, as it looked like he was just running out of pitch there. Throwing taken, headed away by Halliday. Odwar tackled by Leahy. McCleary turns Halliday nicely, plays a ball inside. He's been tackled there by Stubbs. And Bradford are back in possession on the far side with Halliday. He wants to switch it out towards the left-hand side. Nodded forward there by Grimmer, away from Kavanagh. And it's Wycombe in possession in their own half with left-back Leahy. His pass deflects back towards him. It stays in and played inside to Tafazoli. He's got pressure from behind. He clears it forward. Headed inside by a Bradford player towards Wheeler, who can play it towards Taylor. Dealt with, though, by Kelly. And he's back with the Bradford goalkeeper in the 18-yard box. We'll play it to the left centre half of Kieran Kelly. Down the line it goes. Finds Kavanagh. Back to Gilead on halfway. Into the midfield to Smallwood. He tries to send it towards McDonald. He can't quite beat Vokes to it. But he wins it back there, Smallwood. Kavanagh to Odwar. He's drifting out towards the left-hand side here. Gilead's making a run forward. Decides to go backwards instead to Smallwood. Then back to Odwar. It's now with Kelly. On the halfway line, on the near side. It's with Odwar. He's got time on the ball. Plays it across here to Jonathan Tompkinson. Texas-born centre-back on loan at the moment from Norwich. And he plays it to Halliday on the right. Midway side the Wycombe half. He's driving inside. And plays it to the left to Odwar. Then across to Smallwood. Chips it into the box to the far corner. To the far post. Where it's nodded down by McCleary for Wycombe. Kavanagh lays it to the edge of the box to Halliday, whose shot is blocked and it's cleared for a Bradford throw-in. On the far side. Halliday with the throw. He's got Odwar down the line and Smith as well. Throws it into Smith. Touch away from Tafazoli and he gets away from the centre-back. Plays it to his left to Smallwood. 25 yards out. Goes to his left to Gilead. Back inside to Smallwood. The captain. Then back here into Kelly. Plays just relaxed here for Bradford. It's Gilead. 1-2 here with Kelly. Goes across to the right here to Smallwood. Who will play the ball forward to Odwar. Turning away from McCleary. Odwar forward to Kavanagh. Back to Odwar again. Just surrounding the edge of the box here, Bradford. And they enter the box here with a pass to Kavanagh. Plays it outside the area to Smallwood. Then through towards Odwar. It deflects and it's cleared well by Joe Lowe. Can't find Vokes though. Headed forward by Stubbs out to the right now to McDonald. Bradford can re-implement the pressure. They were just putting on the Wycombe defence. And they're playing some nice football under Graham Alexander. You can see there's a way they're trying to play. Smallwood enters the box with the ball forward. Header away though by Leahy. Halliday receives it from Odwar just outside the 18-yard box. Can he work across? Goes back instead here to Tompkinson, the right centre-back who's got forward from the back three. Finds Halliday. Touch isn't great. Took it off him there by Leahy. And there could be a counter-attack on here for Wycombe. He drives away from Odwar and then he's fouled by McDonald. And that'll be a free kick for Wycombe. A bit disappointing in the end there for Bradford that didn't come to anything after having a good spell of possession for the last minute or so. Just couldn't quite work themselves through the Wycombe defence and get a shot on goal. They're going to send this a little bit longer into the Bradford half. It's taken short to the goalkeeper, Strick, who in his pink kit tonight will play the ball forward to the edge of the box. Tafazoli can't win the header, but he drop here for Wycombe, and eventually it does drop to Tafazoli on the edge of the box. Out to the left to McCleary. 1-on-1 with Halliday. Enter the box on his left foot. Low ball goes all the way through, and it avoids Vokes at the near post. And it can be dealt with here on the near side for Bradford with Gilead, who will dribble forward with it. But he's dispossessed there too easily by Taylor. Ball to his left. He's been cut out by Smallwood. And Bradford need to get it forward. It's not a great pass cut out on halfway by Tafazoli. It's now out to the right here to Wheeler for Wycombe. Back to the goalkeeper, Strick on the edge of the area. Clears it first time, right-footed. It hangs up in the air. It's a free header to be won there by Stubbs. Flicked on by Kavanagh. Controlled though here for Wycombe by Lowe. And he lifts it over the top, down the right-hand side here. Goes beyond Wheeler and Kelly. And as Wheeler was going for the header, he's just fouled the number 18 of Kieran Kelly. Dublin-born centre-back. And it is a free kick for Bradford. Really good wing play there from McCleary to take it around the outside of Halliday and work the cross through the legs of Tompkinson. But he was aiming for Vokes and it just went behind the 6'1" Welsh striker. And Bradford survived that slight little scare. As they've got a throw in here on the far side. Midway inside the Wycombe half here with Brad Halliday. Throws it back to the halfway line here to Tompkinson. Goes across into the centre circle now with Kelly. Looking out to the near side. Finds Gilead. And back inside here on the halfway line to Smallwood. McDonald goes back here into Sam Stubbs. And clips it out to the right-hand side. Header away by Leahy. It'll be a throw-in for Bradford to take. Throw-in taken quickly. Then Odwar goes back to Tompkinson. Forward to Odwar, who turns very nicely. Facing the Wycombe goal. Plays it into the area here for Smith. Out to the right to Halliday. Puts a low ball in and it's deflected to the goalkeeper. Probably should have stood that one up there, Halliday. Put a bit of height on the cross. Instead, he went low, and it was quite easily blocked off at the near post, and it deflected through to the goalkeeper. Came off the left back of Leahy. And Bradford had 4 players to aim for, so they are getting plays in the box, the home side. Just couldn't find any of them, Brad Halliday. As Wycombe go long, and the flick on there by Dale Taylor has gone straight through to centre-back for Bradford of Kieran Kelly. Bit of time on the ball here at left centre-half. He's going to go long, sending it forward towards absolutely nobody. Not even a outfield Wycombe player was anywhere near that. Just went straight through to the goalkeeper of Max Striek. And we've got less than 10 minutes of this first half, and it's still 0-0 here at Valley Parade, where both sides have had spells, but Bradford have probably been the better side so far. Long ball forward here for Wycombe. Tompkinson needs to deal with it in the area. Dribbles it away out to the left-hand side. He's been chased down, but he can play it down the line where Kavanagh dummies, but it's blocked off by Grimmer. And the Wycombe right back can bring it forward, and then his ball out to the right. It's just overhit. Goes beyond Wheeler. It'll be a throw for Bradford in a left-back position. And they take it quickly. Long down the line. Finds Kavanagh. He's running at Grimmer here. And also got Scowen to beat, but he can't get beyond Grimmer first time of asking. And it'll be the right back to clear it off Kavanagh. Throwing for Wycombe next to the corner flag on the near side. Good pressing there by Callum Kavanagh. He spent second half of last season on loan at Newport in League 2. And now he's found a new permanent home here at Bradford. Came through the Middlesbrough Academy, Callum Kavanagh. Making 3 appearances for them this season for the first team under Michael Carrick. Grimmer, the right back for Wycombe, takes the throw-in. Down the line, headed on by Wheeler. Only as far as the halfway line, where an unmarked Tompkinson for Bradford can just regain possession for the home side. And they're going to clip it out to the right. It's a long ball forward again. Wildly overhit towards absolutely nobody and straight into the goalkeeper's hands of Max Striek. Didn't even get out the group stages last season. Wycombe in this competition, despite winning 2 penalty shootouts to Spurs under-21s and Peterborough. Lifted ball forward, controlled here by by Scowen. Goes back towards the right-hand side here, where Joe Lowe for Wycombe goes back to the goalkeeper, who clears it first time. Out to the Wycombe right. It'll be a header won there by Kelly. Then headed forward by McDonald, where Odward kicks it backwards to keep possession for Bradford to Halliday in his own half. He's not got many options close to him, so has to go backwards here to Tompkinson, who's not being pressed at the moment, the American centre-back. Plays a low ball down the line here, finds Halliday, who touches it inside nicely. He's got McCleary chasing him down behind, but he can move it before he's tackled. Smallwood, out to the left now to Gilead. 25 yards from goal on this near side. He's running at Wheeler, goes on the outside. Gilead, cross to the far post, where it's met. It's missed by Halliday, and it's met by McCleary at the far post, who can clear it in a left-back position. And it'll be regained here for Bradford, as it's cleared forward by Stubbs. And it's headed away by Leahy. And it's a throw-in for Bradford in the final third. Better cross that from Gilead. And Halliday at the far post went for it with a little bit of an acrobatic attempt, but missed it completely in the end. But this has been a very positive first half so far for Bradford, who have really took the game to Wycombe. It's on the right-hand side now with Tompkinson. Forward to Odwar in the corner of the box. Works it back to Tompkinson. McDonald out to the right now to Halliday. One-on-one with Leahy. Can he work across? Halliday onto his left side, plays it forward here to Odwar, who can turn. He's facing towards goal, but he can't get a shot away. Tackled by Scowen. And the ball's eventually cleared here for Wycombe up towards Vokes, who loses out to Stubbs. Smallwood now 30 yards out. Plays it through down the right-hand side to Halliday. He's got a cross to make, and it deflects back to him. In the second cross is deflected to Kavanagh. Touches it down for McDonald. 1-2. McDonald strikes. It's blocked on the penalty spot by Scowen. And Bradford continue this pressure as they've still got the ball here on their halfway line with Kelly. Forward. What a ball that is into the area to Kavanagh. On his right foot in the corner of the box. Plays it back here to McDonald. Clips it to the far post. Header away by Leahy before it got to Halliday. Towards Vokes, who touches it backwards. Straight to Kavanagh. Inside to Odwar, who wants to try and strike on the edge of the box, but he's been worked away from the box by Lowe. And it's now with Stubbs, the central centre-back for Bradford. And despite not having a shot on goal there, they've still got the possession with Halliday, who has to go back to the halfway line now to Tompkinson. And Bradford go long with the ball forward by Stubbs, deflecting off Vokes. Back to Tompkinson, so it's still Bradford on the ball on the edge of the 18-yard box with goalkeeper Doyle. As the two Champions League games, Porto Arsenal and Napoli Barcelona. Napoli Barcelona is still 0-0. And the Luton Liverpool game, or Liverpool Luton game, is still 1-0 to Luton. And that result for the newly promoted side would see them out of the relegation zone above Everton into 17th, as we've got a free kick here for Bradford. Elbow in the back of Kavanagh by Lowe. And it's a Bradford free kick here, just inside the Wycombe half. So it's an opportunity for Bradford to launch this into the area if they can, as we're closing in on half-time. Both of these semi-finals that we've had to watch over the last two nights, they've been good quality. Especially Peterborough last night were unbelievable. Smallwood, in it goes, it's towards the byline, it's volleyed away by a Wycombe player, and that is Sam Vokes, and as he cleared away, he was pulled down by Tompkinson. So a free kick in the 18-yard box there for Wycombe Wanderers. Honestly, if you want to, if you're bored or anything, and it's available somewhere, watch Peterborough's performance in the first half of their game last night against Blackpool in the other semi-final. Some of the football they're playing out was ridiculous. I saw it getting a lot of praise on Twitter tonight and throughout the day. And whoever take on Peterborough, they're in for a tough challenge. Hey, it might still sound good in Amsterdam. Still in Amsterdam. Wow. Lucky you. Out travelling in Europe. We've got 2.5 minutes until we played the first 45 here. And it is Bradford who have been the better side and looked the team most likely to score. But Wycombe do have that League One quality. So you do feel like if Wycombe have a half chance, they could punish Bradford for not scoring. It's Grimmer, throws it down the line for Wycombe, flicked on by Wheeler, can't be collected on the edge of the box by Vokes, cleared for Bradford, dealt with by Lowe, straight to McDonald, who finds Odwar in the midfield, who can work it out to the left here to Gilead, crosses the halfway line, cuts inside onto his right foot and plays it through for McDonald, who can't get away from McCleary. It's a poor giveaway on the halfway line, and Wycombe can attack with Taylor, out to the left here to McCleary, into the box he goes on the outside of Tompkinson and shoots towards goal. Header away by Stubbs, back in the box towards Taylor, and it's another header away by Stubbs. And a clearance out of the pitch there by Tompkinson. And that's the first Wycombe chance we've had for quite a long time. It was well won back in the midfield, and McCleary on his left foot. It was a cross, not a shot. The first one was headed away by Stubbs, and then the second attempt by Taylor was again headed away by Stubbs. And it'll be a right-footed in-swinging corner here from Gareth McCleary for Wycombe Wanderers. And can they burst the Bradford balloon right before the break? Again, the referee is going to stop play to have a word with the players in the box. I've said this a few times on commentaries, and I'll say it again. I don't know why the referee tells them to stop pushing and shoving. Let them do it, and if they do it while the ball's in the air and it's a foul, give a foul. If it's a penalty or a free kick, I just don't get why he has to tell them to not do it. If they do it, it's their fault if they give away any penalties. I don't get why he's trying to calm them down. It's their decision and choice to push and shove. And again, he's slowing the game down to have a word with Sam Stubbs and Ryan Tafazoli. I just don't get it. Let them push and shove. And if you deem it as a foul, one way or the other, just give the foul. Just don't. That's something I've always found a little bit confusing with refereeing, but that's probably why I'm not a referee. as we'll eventually get the ball in. We won't even get the ball in the box. They've gone short. Back to McCleary. Edge of the box to Potts, who will work it in. It's a poor cross. It really is. Easy header away for Smallwood. To the halfway line now for Wycombe, where the right back Grimmer sends it back into the area. High ball, headed forward by Wheeler. It'll be controlled here by Tafazoli. The centre-back will turn and beat his man in the box. Tafazoli tries to take on one too many. Tackled there at the near post by Smallwood. And the play's been stopped there. As I think Kieran Kelly, the centre-back's just gone down holding his hip. As he went up for the challenge there with Wheeler, who eventually won the header to Tafazoli. Kieran Kelly stayed down there. Yeah, just a knee in the hip there. Don't think it's a foul, but a knee in the hip. So Kelly stayed down while play continued. And once Bradford had won the ball back, the referee blew the whistle to see if he needs some treatment here. And he is going to receive some treatment, Kieran Kelly. As we've had a minute indicated added on. We've played 40 seconds of it. But we'll obviously overrun ever so slightly here as Bradford centre-back Kieran Kelly just received some treatment. Signed in January last year, Kieran Kelly from Bohemians. And during his time in Ireland, his home country, he has played in Europa League qualifying in the 2019-2020 season. And also took part in Conference League qualifying in the 2021-2022 season. So we have played a minute of added on time, but as mentioned, we'll just slightly go over that as we're getting some treatment here for Kieran Kelly as the 36-year-old winger of Gareth McCleary talks to his 40-year-old manager of Matt Bloomfield, who spent pretty much all of his playing days at Wycombe. Spent 18 years at the club before retiring in 2022, becoming a coach at the club, before he left in September 2022 for Colchester, where he spent around 5 months at the League Two side before being snapped up by Wycombe exactly a year ago, as they did lose their previous manager of Gareth Ainsworth. Ainsworth. What I found out about Wycombe when I was researching them, they don't change managers very often. Gareth Ainsworth was at the club for 11 years. Before that, they had Gary Waddock, who was there for just under 3 years. And then before that was Peter Taylor for over a year. And then before that was Paul Lambert for 2 years. Then Andy Gorman for just under 2 years. They've had 7 managers, Wycombe, since the turn of the century. 7 managers in 24 years. That just shows, just consistency with managers. They give them time and, they give them decent terms in charge. Obviously, Gareth Ainsworth was a little bit of an anomaly, being at the club for just over 10 years, taking charge of over 500 games. Usually, they do give their managers time in the job, and Matt Bloomfield's already had a year, got them to 9th place last season, as he took charge in the February. But this campaign hasn't been the most eventful. Currently slumbering in 15th. And eventually, after a couple minutes of treatment, Kieran Kelly's back to his feet and he's hobbling off there after the contact on his hip. So I'm presuming we'll get an extra 30 seconds or so played. And then we'll have half-time at Valley Parade, as Bradford have definitely been the more dominant side in this first half against a team that are a league above them in Wycombe Wanderers, who've only picked up 2 losses in their last 10 in all competitions, and they came against Bolton and Wigan. So it is the ball is in the hands of goalkeeper Colin Doyle. He'll kick it out of his hands forward. It bounces before the halfway line. It's cleared forward by Scowen for Wycombe, but straight to Smallwood. He goes back to the goalkeeper. He'll get a better clearance this time. Sends it into the air, and as it drops to the ground, the referee's whistle is blown for half-time here at Valley Parade, and it is a first 45 minutes which have gone in Bradford's favour. In the first half, they've been able to work 7 shots, 2 on target, one of them in the second minute through leading scorer in the competition, Tyler Smith. He struck it straight at Max Striek in the Wycombe goal. Kavanagh has also come close in the half, putting a shot wide of the post. Wycombe have had slight half chances at goal, but nothing threatful at all for Bradford to worry about. And here at half-time at Valley Parade, after the first 45 minutes, it is Bradford 0, Wycombe Wanderers 0. It's the League Two side playing the better football and having the better chances, and that might be because they are playing at home and they are used to the difficult conditions of the pitch. But with Wycombe, they're still in the game. They can improve their game as well. So I don't think they'll be worrying too much. They do have to realise that if they keep allowing Bradford to dominate the way they are, then at some point Bradford might nick that goal. But as long as Wycombe can keep it at 0-0, they can still be in the game and they can still try and nick the game themselves and get themselves into this final. It'll be their first ever final in this competition. But at the moment, it is 0-0. I'm going to go for half-time. I'll be back in around 15 minutes for the second half. So you can go, do whatever you want for the next 15 minutes. And make sure you come back, as we are going to find out who is going to take on Peterborough United in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy final. But at the moment here, in this semi-final, it is Bradford 0, Wycombe 0. Hello, we are back for the second half of the EFL Trophy semi-final between Bradford and Wycombe. A place is up for grabs at Wembley, which is always an incentive for these sides, as a lot of these players who play for the League One sides and the League Two sides probably don't have the chance of playing at Wembley very often, so when an opportunity arises, they usually try their best to take it. And at the moment, it is Bradford who have been the better side for the opening 45 minutes. In fact, Bradford, the last time Bradford got to Wembley was in the 2012-2013 season, when they reached the League Cup final and were beaten by Swansea. And in the same season, they reached the Wembley for a second time in the League Two playoff final. What division are they in at the moment? They're in League Two. Could we get a copy for Bradford where they reach Wembley 2 times in the same season? We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, it is all square at 0-0. Wycombe are still in the game, but they need to improve rather quickly, because at the moment it looks like Bradford are going to take the lead and are going to score. That's if anyone was to take the lead and put themselves in front. As in that Premier League game between Liverpool and Luton, that is now Liverpool 3, Luton 1. So Liverpool have made the comeback there in the second half. But second half proceedings will get back underway in this game in a minute or two time at Valley Parade. As I do definitely think the pitch and the conditions have been quite rubbish. Have definitely helped Bradford more than Wycombe. I think Bradford are probably a little bit more accustomed to playing on this pitch, because in this season the pitch hasn't been great for the majority. Because in fairness, I was at Bradford Stadium not long ago. I think it was in the new year. And on the way there, the game nearly got called off because of the pitch, because it had been raining all day. So, it wasn't great. It was a 0-0 I saw, so that says everything. So I've been to Bradford Stadium this season and saw a 0-0 on a pitch which was absolutely terrible. We won't get that again today, because we will get a winner if it is level after 90 minutes. I believe it goes straight to penalties, so we'll get a winner tonight. Doesn't necessarily mean we'll get goals. It could end 0-0, but then we'll get the goals from the penalty spot. As we are just waiting for the restart here. And the rain is pouring again as the home supporters cover themselves with their hoods and their umbrellas. There's a lot to smile about for Bradford. They were the much better team. They were getting in the box more often than Wycombe, and they were getting shots on goal. Not a lot of them really testing Max Striek in the Wycombe goal, but it's positives they can take, as this pitch is getting so much worse. As the rain keeps falling, you just want to get this game played and done and ticked off and move on, because we've seen it before in games when referees have called it off mid-game. So we don't want that to happen again. But it is getting dangerously more muddy and more wet, and it's affecting the pitch. And it's definitely affected Wycombe's performance. They just have not been good enough at all yet in this game. They've not particularly looked that calm in the defence, really, as well. It's not like they've looked very calm at the back. I think they've looked quite shaky at times when Bradford have got forward. They've just not been able to find the back of the net yet. So we're going to get back underway here. Bradford kicking left to right, Wycombe right to left. It is Bradford with the kick-off. And it is Smith to go back to Smallwood, who sprays it out to the right-hand side to Halliday. He can't quite take it under control. And it will be a throw in for Wycombe in the left-back position. Can't quite be controlled there by Halliday. You would expect better of himself usually. This is his 19th appearance in this competition for Brad Halliday, and he's yet to score, the 28-year-old. There's a throw in by Leahy, headed back to him by Halliday. Then he heads forward now to Taylor. Then over the top here for Wycombe, looking towards Sam Vokes. It's allowed to bounce multiple times, and it's cleared by Kelly. And there's a foul there on Kelly as he cleared the ball. And I think Kieran Kelly will have to be substituted here. He was fouled on the edge of the box by David Wheeler before half-time. And it looks like, again, going into another challenge, he's hurt the hip, or the hip's gone again. Let's have a look. The ball went, well, they're showing the first half instance. It was just a knee in the hip by David Wheeler on Kieran Kelly. I don't think it was an intentional knee I don't think he intentionally kneed him in the hip. It's just as he was going for the ball aerially, obviously his knee was just up there. And then that one, he's just gone in for another challenge. I don't think it's even touched him. I just think it's the impact of the injury and the way he's kicked the ball away obviously must still be hindering him. So it looks like we're going to have a change here for Bradford. An early one in the second half. It's been a forced substitute. It's not one they wanted to make, but it's one they're having to make. Kieran Kelly, the Irish centre-back, who is very slowly hobbling off here, is going to be replaced. And they haven't got many defensive options on the bench here, Bradford. So it looks like it will be Liam Rydhalg to come on, who's usually a left wing-back. And it looks like he might have to do a job here at left centre-back. And it is Liam Rydhalg to replace Kieran Kelly, who's gone off with a hip injury. Cannot continue for the rest of the game. Hopefully for Bradford and Kelly, it's nothing too serious and he can get back in the action as soon as possible. But it's a like for like. Liam Rydhalg will just slot in at left centre-back as the 32-year-old comes on off the bench for his 20th appearance in this competition. His third this season. Just the one start in the competition, which was away at Derby, in the one which was against Derby in the last 16. As we're back underway here. Long ball forward by Strick for Wycombe. Touchdown by Vokes into McCleary. Driving into the penalty area. McCleary strikes with the right foot. It's blocked. Drops to Taylor. Lays it off for Scowen. And wow, that is a strike which slices so far wide of the goal. And it's a Bradford goal kick. Did not catch that at all. Josh Scowen, who returned back to Wycombe in July 2021. After his first spell came to an end in 2015 after coming through their youth system. Goal kick taken. Played forward by Scowen here. It'll be chased down by Wheeler. Dealt with by Stubbs. Out to the left here to Gilead. Back to Rydhalg, whose clearance goes up to the halfway line, cleared by Tafazoli. All as far as Stubbs, who clears it first time himself. Playing it out to the left-hand side. Kavanagh will chase it. He will keep that in on the far side for Bradford, but he loses out to Joe Lowe. And it'll be a free kick for Wycombe as Kavanagh was just pulling back low. Gilead, sorry, was just pulling back low. The Wycombe centre-back, who celebrated his 22nd birthday yesterday. Joe Lowe, the 6'5" Welsh centre-back, who's had one appearance for his country, which came in a friendly against Gibraltar back in October of last year. As the free kick's taken by the goalkeeper, Strick. Up towards McCleary, touches it down, and it will find Potts. Back to the halfway line now to Leahy. Ball forward, directed towards nobody in a blue shirt, and it'll go straight into the hands of goalkeeper Colin Doyle, who throws it out to the right to Halliday. It's cut out though by Leahy. McCleary can't flick it towards Leahy, picked back up by Halliday, and it's now with Tompkinson. Ball forward, looking towards Smith, headed away by Tafazoli, flicked forward on halfway by Scowen, and coming back from an offside position is David Wheeler. And it'll be a free kick for Bradford. Midway inside their own half, it'll be taken by number 15, Sam Stubbs. Out to the left it goes to Kavanagh. On the outside. Onto his right foot, cross goes in, header away, deflects through to Smith who strikes, and it's a big save from Striek. And the ball goes behind for a corner kick. Very fortunate the way that opportunity came about for Bradford. It was good work on the left by Kavanagh to get the cross in, but the header by Lowe deflected off Potts. Didn't know much about it. The header just bounced off him and directly back towards goal, and it fell straight to Smith, who about 5 yards out struck at the near post, but the angle was closed down quickly by Striek, and he was able to save, and the ball went behind for a corner, which has been swung into the area, bounces to the penalty spot, headed forward by Stubbs, it's blocked, still alive in the area, needs to be cleared, shot by Gilead, and it's over the bar towards the top right corner. Again, always rising there from Alex Gilead, sorry. Ball went in towards the penalty spot, headed forward by Stubbs, blocked by Vokes, and Vokes tried to clear it, and when he did, it deflected into the path of Gilead, whose shot towards the top right corner was always rising over the crossbar. Coming up towards 200 appearances for Bradford. Alex Gilead, this is appearance 197. Came through at Newcastle from 2012 to 2018. This is actually his third spell at Bradford. He'd had 2 previous spells on loan from January to May 2017, then July 2017 to May 2018, before becoming their player permanently in July 2021 from Scunthorpe. As they play out from the back here, Smallwood on the edge of the 18-yard box, gives it away straight to Leahy. He decides to go backwards here to Potts. He's got Odwar following him. He goes into the centre circle now with Lowe. Out to right back Grimmer. Inside to Potts. Then back here into Lowe again. It's Wycombe on the ball. Lowe goes across to Tafazoli. Out to the right. Misplaced pass. Cut out here for Bradford with Gilead. Plays it forward to Odwar, who can stride forward and play the ball through here. Halliday squares it towards Smith. He goes behind him. At the far post, Kavanagh tries to shoot. Vital tackle there from Grimmer, who with a 1-2 can try and get this out of the Wycombe half here. They play it forward towards Taylor. Loses out to Odwar. And that's another huge opportunity early on for Bradford, who have continued their domination from the first half into the second. It looked like Kavanagh was about to have a real promising strike at goal, but it was taken away from him by Grimmer. Smith back to the halfway line now to Smallwood. It's now Odwar on the right-hand side, getting beyond Potts. Odwar's got Halliday to his right. Odwar tries to play it to him. It deflects back to Odwar instead. Squares it to his left to McDonald. On his right foot. Strikes it towards goal, and it just goes beyond the goalkeeper and past the post for a Wycombe goal kick. It's not a bad attempt there by Kevin McDonald, who's still searching for his first goal of the season. He's not scored yet for Bradford since joining in the summer from Exeter. He did score last season against Wycombe for Exeter in League One back in March of last year. But that first chance, bad giveaway from Tafazoli. It was well worked to Odwar, who found Halliday in behind. He went for the square ball towards Smith. He went behind him and then through to Kavanagh, and on the angle, around 8 yards out, he wanted to shoot, but it was a really good touch away from him by Grimmer to avoid any dangerous strike at goal. But it's Bradford to come forward again. Gilead marauding down the left. What a touch that is. Into the final third. He works the cross in, and it's deflected behind for another corner. And it looks like if anyone is going to score in this game, it's going to be Bradford. It's been no improvement from Wycombe. They are still being penned back here through the Bradford pressure. In the Champions League, both fixtures are still 0-0 between Porto and Arsenal and Napoli-Barcelona. In swinging corner, it's a deeper one. To the far post, it's a punch away from the goalkeeper, but his shirt was being held upon there. And that'll be a free kick for Wycombe. I think the guilty party there was Tyler Smith, who joined on a free from Hull at the start of the season. Came through the Sheffield United Academy, where he was a ball boy for the Blades. Signed a 3-year contract here at Bradford. Yeah, he was just pulling the shirt of the goalkeeper. Can't do that. And it's a free kick for the away side. 10 minutes into the second half. It's going to be a double change for Wycombe. Changes that have needed to be made, really. They're going to bring on right back, but has been playing left back, Kane Vincent Young, who joined on a free from Ipswich at the start of the season. And the second change has been non-existent. Sam Vokes, He'll be substituted off for Richard Coney, who was brought in January from Athletic Newham. He caught the eyes of the recruitment team for Wycombe in the Essex Senior League. All at the age of 20. He's already scored twice for them in 8 appearances. One in the league against Fleetwood in late January, and then also scored in the last 16 against West Ham's under-21s in this competition. So changes have been made. So it's David Wheeler off for Vincent Young, and then Vokes off for Coney. So it does look like Leahy will probably take up a midfield position now for Wycombe, and Vincent Young will go to left back as Bradford over the top, down the left-hand side. Kavanagh will chase it. It will be low to see the ball out for a goal kick. Good defending from Wycombe's number 17. Brought in from Bristol City. Very promising centre-back, Joe Lowe. A lot of good things have been said about him as he came through the Bristol City Academy. But he's moved permanently here to Wycombe to get some regular first-team football in League One. Long ball forward, headed away for Bradford, flicked on by McDonald, headed forward by Potts for Wycombe, headed away by Stubbs for Bradford. It'll be chased down here by Lowe, who will go back to his goalkeeper of Striek, who first time will clear the ball with his right foot deep into the Bradford half, headed down by Coney, going toward Vincent Young, headed away by Halliday, headed back forward by Potts towards Taylor, dealt with by Tompkinson, misplaced pass, Leahy down the line here for Coney in the box, on the angle, tries to pull it across, it's blocked by Stubbs. Corner for Wycombe. Strong introduction there from Richard Coney, the Ivorian striker. All at the age of 20 years old. And he finds a corner for his team, who have struggled to get forward in this second half. As the corner goes in, it bounces at the front post, dealt with for the moment by Halliday, and it's worked on the edge of the box to Kavanagh. Down the Bradford right. Tries to play it through towards Odwar, but the play's been pulled back there as Tyler Smith was brought down on the edge of the box as he linked the play to Callum Kavanagh. Wasn't really much of an advantage on as Kavanagh was found, so the referee pulled the play back for a free kick. Barcelona have took a lead away at Napoli. Napoli 0, Barcelona 1. They have just scored the goal, so I don't quite know who scored it yet. So Doyle for Bradford clears it long out to the right-hand side, goes over the head of Halliday, and he bounces out for a throw for Wycombe in a left-back position. Couldn't be kept in there by Clark Odwar, the Kenyan winger who's played one time for his country back in October 2020 against Zambia. Now the age of 24, Clark Odwar. It's the throw-in down the line by Leahy, flicked on there by McCleary. Last touch off the Wycombe winger. That'll be a Bradford throw-in on halfway. Halliday wants to try and take it quickly. Doesn't have loads of options with him. Bradford's number 2. Eventually throws it. Does it? No, he fakes the throw. Still waiting for the right option here, Halliday. And he throws it eventually into the midfield now to Kavanagh. Turns away from Potts. Plays it to his left to McDonald. First time ball out to the left now to Gilead. He's got Rydhaug overlapping. Finds the number 3 off the bench. Can he work across in the final third? He's got Gilead overlapping. Finds him. Gilead lays it off for Rydhaug, who will cross it to the near post. Headed away by Potts. He'll be kept alive here by Stubbs, who fires it out to the left for Gilead, for Bradford. Running at Grimmer. Gilead works the cross, deflects back off him, and cleared in the box by Grimmer in the end. Played forward by Stubbs, back by Smallwood to the halfway line now. And Tompkinson plays it down the left-hand side here for Bradford. They will continue the pressure here. McDonald just peeling out to the left-hand side, playing it through for Rydhaug, who will cross the ball in. Header away by Tafazoli. As far as Odwar, who takes it down. Can't work the shot. Does deflect through. Kavanagh shoots. It's good save down low to Striek's left. And it can be cleared away by Leahy. Bradford still on the top. And they take the throw-in quickly. Halliday in the final third. Because on the outside of Vincent Young. Cross deflects off the number 44 for Wycombe. And it's a Bradford corner on the near side. Again, great cross that time by Rydhaug. Good header by Tafazoli, but it was controlled by Clark Odwar, and his touch got away from him, but he deflected off Vincent Young to Kavanagh, who had the shot towards the corner, but it wasn't far enough in the corner to really trouble Striak. As the cross from the corner goes in by Odwar, cleared and put back forward by Halliday, out to the left towards Kavanagh, who can't quite keep the ball in, seen out there by Freddie Potts. On loan from West Ham, his dad actually is West Ham's under-21s manager, a team that they faced in the last 16. And for Barcelona, of course, the goal scorer was Robert Lewandowski. And Arsenal still 0-0 away at Porto. There's Wycombe. Try and get in behind here. It's McCleary in the right wing position. Tries to cut inside, but he's stopped by Stubbs, who has it in the 18-yard box. Clears it forward for Bradford. Headed into the air by McDonald. Straight to Wycombe's Grimmer at right back, who's been dispossessed by Gilead. Then won back there by Joe Lowe, who kicks it forward. I think it deflected there off McDonald, and it's a Wycombe throw-in midway side the Bradford half on the far side. It looks like they're going to try and throw this in towards the 18-yard box with their right back of Jack Grimmer. Throwing goes into the area, headed forward by Gilead, straight back to Grimmer, who leaves the ball for Scowen. Goes back to the halfway line, and it's put back forward here for Wycombe to the edge of the 18-yard box, where the head has been won by Stubbs for Bradford. Then nodded out to the right there by Smallwood. And it's played down the line here. Odwar will chase it. Tafazoli struggling for pace, but he's covered really well there by Leahy. He had to get there, and he did. And he clears it forward, controlled by Taylor. Turns away from Smallwood. On the Wycombe left, he's driving forward. Plays it in towards Kone, who loses out to Tompkinson. And Stubbs can turn away from Wycombe's number 19. Of Freddie Potts, and eventually the ball is deflected off a Bradford player. Deflected off a Wycombe player for a Bradford throw-in. But Wycombe still have not had a shot on target, and it is important to remember that Bradford have not trailed in this competition yet. They've only conceded 2 goals as well. 3 clean sheets in the knockout rounds. Throwing down the line, header away from Tyler Smith. Low. Forward to the halfway line for Wycombe, to McCleary. Can't quite find Grimmer. Forward by Rydhag. Short ball to Kavanagh. It's now back with Wycombe. Grimmer caught there. No, says the referee. Back in Bradford possession with their central centre-back of Sam Stubbs, who goes long. Out towards the right-hand side to Halliday, who tries to nod it forward. Runs out of pitch, and it's a throw-in for Wycombe on this near side. It was an adventurous ball, and it was a bit too much there for Brad Halliday to bring it down. Throwing down the line, headed backwards by Halliday. Needs to be dealt with by Smallwood, but it goes straight to McCleary. It's now with Taylor. Deflected ball out to the right. It will go straight into the feet of Gilead, who will bring it forward for Bradford. Now in the Wycombe half. He's one-on-one with Lowe. Not got many options with him, really, Gilead. And has to go back here to McDonald. It goes into the midfield to Odwar. Back out to the left there towards Gilead. Tackled by Grimmer. And back to Scowen at right back. Then into the goalkeeper Striak. He clears it first time. It's a looping ball forward. Headed forward by McDonald. Gilead loses out to Grimmer. Potts takes over. McCleary to Grimmer. Lifted ball down the right channel towards no one in a Wycombe shirt. And McDonald can try and find Smith up front for Bradford, who chests it down for Odwar. Halliday's making a marauding one forward. Can't find him. Odwar will go on his own instead, and he'll strike it with his left foot. Doesn't catch it. Wide in height. And not on target for Bradford there by Clark Odwar. Should be doing better than that, really. Halliday making the run forward on the right. Gave Odward space forward as he took on Tafazoli. And 22 yards out, struck it. Just sliced it slightly. And away it went. And we're going to get a third Wycombe change here. Captain Josh Scowen, who's just not really been involved tonight, it seems. Not really getting on the ball too much. Almost just got lost in the game, really. And he'll be replaced by number 8, Matt Butcher, who was brought in January from Championship side Plymouth, a team where he won the league title last season and also got to this final of this competition but lost 4-0 to Bolton in the final. Played 45 minutes in that final at Wembley. So the captain's armband has gone to right back Jack Grimmer. So we've got 25 minutes to play here. It's been a game of football which has lacked quality, but not really down to the players. It's more down to the state of the pitch. It's got more mud than grass. It's a Sunday League pitch, really, for this level of football. And it is Bradford as we're back underway. Inside their 18-yard box, just outside their 18-yard box here, with Jonathan Tompkinson. He spent last season on loan at Stevenage for the start of the season, then was recalled in January as he plays a ball down the right-hand side to the edge of the Wycombe box, dealt with by Tafazoli. He plays a low ball down the line, cut out though by Smallwood, finds Smith, loses out though in the end, and it's played back forward now for Butcher for Wycombe. Potts, McCleary on halfway, keeping the ball away from Tompkinson, and finding Joe Lowe at the back for Wycombe. Curling it out to the right wing, looking for Kone, he'll chase it down. Rydhag will get there first. And his clearance down the line has been kept in by Kavanagh. Balls inside to Smith, who will not meet it ahead of Leahy. And the play's been pulled back for a free kick. And it'll be a yellow card there. Callum Kavanagh getting there first ahead of Jack Grimmer. Was it Jack Grimmer? No, it's... Who was it? Who's a yellow card in here? It'll be Joe Lowe, the centre-back. The 22-year-old man who came through the Bristol City Academy. So he's gone into the book here. The ball was worked out wide. And as Kavanagh released it, he was just caught late there by Lowe. Yeah, just a bit aggressive. It wasn't like the boot was too high or anything. It was just a very aggressive foul. And it's been given as a free kick and a yellow card by the referee. Ball forward for Bradford to the edge of the box. Kavanagh loses out on the header, but it drops loose here towards McDonald. Loses it to Potts, cleared forward by Grimmer. Headed forward by Stubbs, controlled by Grimmer at right back for Wycombe, who will play the ball forward, over the top, towards McCleary, who controls it behind him, and it can be cleaned up by Smallwood for Bradford. And they play it down the right by Halliday. Odwai will chase it, but it'll be Leahy to get there first. And it'll be cleared by the goalkeeper, Striek, who rushed the clearance as he was being closed down there by, I think it was Gilead. And it's a Bradford throw-in on the near side. Midway inside the Wycombe half. It's been taken quickly. Already back to Halliday. Forward by Smallwood. Header away there by Leahy. Head tennis here as it's back forward by Smallwood. Can't be controlled by McDonald. It goes behind Kone. Through for Stubbs. And it's Bradford back in possession on the far side. Just on halfway here with Gilead. One-on-one here with Grimmer. Gilead driving inside, across the field, laying it off to Smallwood. Then out to the right here to Halliday. Down the line to Gilead. He's got his back to goal here. As he turns away from Leahy. Playing it inside for Odwar. Space on the edge of the box. He's going to strike the ball wide. Just dragged it too far to the near post. The goalkeeper probably had that covered anyway. But Odwar's had 2 or 3 of those chances now in this game where he's had shots from edge of the box, but none of them have been on target that I can remember. That one dragged wide. He had one in the first half, which he put over the crossbar. What team do you support, mate? I do support a Premier League side, but I usually just don't say who because I just don't want to get involved in online Premier League. I just don't want to be called biased or anything. But I do support a League 2 side as well, and that's Stockport County. I started going to Stockport County in the 2018-2019 season, because it was just so much cheaper than Premier League football. So decided to start going there when they were in the National League North, and now we're in League 2. So it's been a great journey, and it's probably the best thing I've ever done, starting going to Stockport County. So that's the team I do support and go to every week. But I do also support a Premier League side as well. But it's just so expensive, and I just love football. I was like, what's the alternative? So that was the alternative. So yeah, Stockport County is the team that I represent online. I just don't tend to say who I support in the Premier League because I was talking about it yesterday, actually. It's just the online banter with Premier League teams. It's just full of keyboard warriors who never goes to games. They don't actually understand what it's like to be a proper fan of the club because they're absolutely miles away. And I just don't like it. It just bores me. So I prefer the banter between non-league sides. As Bradford are in the box, ball goes across the box, and how on earth has that not been glanced in? Bradford came ever so close there through Tyler Smith. Can't be kept in on the near side there by Halliday. What an opportunity with 20 minutes to go. If Bradford don't see themselves through to this final, they'll be kicking themselves. Played down the left-hand side. Beautiful football. Finding the run of Rydhaug, who entered the box. He fell over his own feet, but got back up quickly and played it across goal. And any kind of contact with the head of Tyler Smith, and that goes in the back of the net. Somehow, it's missed him completely. And it's gone out for a Wycombe throw-in. But how on earth that has not been headed into the back of the net, I do not know. That is a glorious opportunity. And for the full 70 minutes, it's been all Bradford. Wycombe have been really poor tonight. Don't get me wrong, the conditions aren't on their side. The pitch is pretty poor, and they're at an away stadium. But League Two, Bradford have been the much better side. And if somehow Wycombe can do a smash and grab here, then it should be Bradford's to take. Stubbs on halfway from centre-back. Laying it off to Odwar, just to his right. Back to Smallwood. In behind, can't find Halliday. Cut out there by Vincent Young, but it's won back there by Halliday. Charging into the box. Halliday squares it across. Turn. Strike from Tyler Smith. Straight at the goalkeeper. Another huge opportunity for Bradford. And another one for their number 14 of Tyler Smith. Just out-muscled there. Vincent Young by Halliday, who's been a menace and a threat all the way through the game for Bradford on that right-hand side. And it was a good touch and turn there by Tyler Smith, but the shot lacked that pace and that real control. He almost just snapped at it, and it was an easy save for Striek in the Wycombe goal, as it's Wycombe to come forward. McCleary lays it off for Kone, out to the left for Vincent Young, tackled by Tomkinson, and it's a throw-in midway inside the Bradford half for Wycombe on this near side. Still Porto 0, Arsenal 0, and Barcelona still have a 1-goal lead at Napoli. It'll be Leahy to take it. Throw down the line towards the corner flag to Kone. Back towards Leahy. Pokes it inside here for Vincent Young. Lays it off to Butcher. Back down the line for Kone. He stayed onside. Not got many plays in the box, but he'll put it in there. Header away. It's a fantastic header by Stubbs. It's now Smith. Back to Tomkinson, who plays out to the right. It's always curling out of pitch. Wycombe throwing. He's another player who's been really solid for Bradford tonight, and that's their central centre-back of Sam Stubbs. Seems like he's won everything that's gone forward at him. And it looks like we're going to get a Bradford change. Number 36, Tyreek Wright, is going to come on soon, but we're already back underway, so we won't get the change now. Kone for Wycombe on the near side, playing it back to Leahy. Then into the gap here for Vincent Young, who squares it in the box. Goes to the edge of the area to Potts, who tries to hurry the shot. Stopped by McDonald, and it'll be brought forward here by Gilead, who will lay it into the space here for Kavanagh. He's got Smith making a run in behind. Can't quite release it to him, but he will find Smith for a deflection. Lays it back off for Kavanagh. Tries to get into the 18-yard box. Goes down under a challenge, and the free kick has been given on the edge of the area. I think it was Tafazoli, the one who's given the free kick away. Kavanagh was bringing the ball forward originally, but couldn't release it to Smith, but it was deflected off a Wycombe player through to Smith, who then found Kavanagh again. And as he tried to enter the box there, Tafazoli just got across his man and brought down Callum Kavanagh, who's got 2 in his last 2. And it looks like he's going to be the one over this free kick, maybe. As the leading scorer in this competition, Tyler Smith, the striker, is going to be replaced by Tyreek Wright, who is on loan at the moment from Plymouth, brought in mid-January. Second spell at the club. He also spent the first half of last season on loan here at Bradford. So they don't have an out-and-out striker right now on the pitch now, Bradford. They do just have 3 almost just forward players, with the likes of Kavanagh, Odwar and Wright. As it is Napoli 1, Barcelona 1. Victor Osimhen with the equaliser. As Liverpool also won 4-1 against Luton in the end, second half comeback. But it looks like it's going to be Callum Kavanagh, the one who won the free kick. Can he send Bradford back to Wembley 11 years after their last visit? It's about 20 yards out, just to the left side of the box, so it's perfect for that right-footed option, which is Callum Kavanagh. With the free kick, through the wall and punched away by the goalkeeper. He went to the goalkeeper's side and instead of catching it, he decided to punch. It's back in the Bradford half now, and they've gone back to their goalkeeper, to Doyle, as it's McCleary closing the ball down for Wycombe. Played forward by Doyle. All as far as a Wycombe player who heads it forward, cut out towards Kone, and Bradford can't keep it in. It's a Wycombe throwing on the far side. It's not the greatest of attempts by Kavanagh, who tried to go to the keeper's side, but it was just too close to him. Needed to be more in the corner, really, there. Throw will be taken by Joe Lowe, who can really throw it in, flicked on into the box. Header away by Stubbs, forward by Grimmer. It deflects. Butcher heads forward. Needs to be controlled here and eventually cleared for Bradford up towards right, who will nick the ball off Tafazoli and goes into McDonald in the Bradford half. Looks forward, tries to play it across to Smallwood, but it goes out for a Bradford throw-in as it deflected there off number 20 of Dale Taylor. On the halfway line, Gilead bursting beyond one Wycombe player and taking on a second. What a run this is. Gilead running across the pitch, playing it through for Smallwood. He's got Halliday on the near side, finds him in the final third. Can he work the cross in the number 2? He plays it back to Smallwood, who crosses it first time. It's a deep ball to the far post, but the header's been won. Fantastic save. It's a really good save by Max Striek, as the header was won by Kavanagh at the far post. Good ball in by Smallwood first time. And 6 yards out, Kavanagh won the header, and it's just been avoided. Going over the line by the goalkeeper. It was almost over the goal line as he saved it. Good reaction save, as Bradford have got another corner as they took that first one short. And Odwar was tackled, and it's gone for another corner. It has been all Bradford this game, the entirety of the game, and I don't understand how it's still 0-0. There'll be a right-footed in swinger by Smallwood. In it goes, header away, just went beyond Stubbs. It's McDonald back to Halliday in the centre circle, bringing the ball out to the right-hand side. A run with intent, laying it off here to Tompkinson. It goes back to Halliday. And then across to the left to Rydhag, who will lift it into the area towards the far post. Header away for Wycombe and helped on by Taylor. Away from Smallwood. Taylor up for Wycombe on the right-hand side, bringing it in towards the central area. Playing it back out to the right to Kone, who will keep it in towards the corner flag, but he's been tackled by Stubbs. He's been superb tonight, but Stubbs just ran out of room as he tried to get away from Kone, and he has conceded the throw-in on the far side. But Wycombe still yet to work a shot on target, as Bradford have already had 17 shots on goal tonight. But they did also struggle at the weekend against bottom of the league Sutton. They were only able to win by 1-0, and it was Sutton, the lower league side, the team lower down in the table, who had more possession. Bradford tonight, they've dominated the possession with 61% of it so far. The ball goes into the box by Wycombe and a header towards goal by McCleary, about 8 yards out. Just needed to be more in the corner. It was too close to the goalkeeper Doyle, who can save. But it is the first shot on target for Wycombe. Ball was put in. McCleary got away from Halliday, and he headed it into the ground. Good ball in there by Leahy. But the header just too close to the goalkeeper. That would have been a real smash and grab there for Wycombe if they would put that in the back of the net. Bradford in the midfield in their own half. Laid down by McDonald to Rydhag, who lifts it down the left-hand side. Header away by Tafazoli. Drops to McDonough, headed forward, straight to Potts for Wycombe. We've got the possession in their own half. Down the line, here by Grimmer. And there's a foul gone against Kone as he was holding back Rydhag. Free kick for Bradford with 10 minutes to play. Thank you to everyone who's here. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. Just 2 clicks of a button. It takes just 2 seconds. I don't think manager Matt Bloomfield will be best pleased with his Wycombe side. They haven't been very good tonight. And this is a quite strong Wycombe side. Just 3 changes from their team at the weekend against Oxford. As it's a Wycombe goal kick. Ball couldn't be kept in there by Tyreek Wright for Bradford. The Irish winger who's been brought on for Tyler Smith. Goal kick taken by Striek towards Grimmer, who loses out the header to Stubbs. It's a booming header forward, taken on by Tyreek Wright, who will keep it in on the far side in the final third towards the byline, chops onto his right foot. Tyreek Wright still has it, still shoots with the ball, and it's blocked by Potts. Cleared for Wycombe up the field, headed forward though by Rydhag into the 18-yard box, where it can be seen all the way through to the goalkeeper of Striek. Positive though from Tyreek Wright, running into the area and getting the shot off, but then again, the Bradford shot wasn't good enough. It was just slightly, it's just too weak. Like a few of their shots tonight, they've just been all just rolling straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. As he kicks out of his hands into the Bradford half, header away again by Stubbs, all as far as Potts, but as Stubbs won the header, he was fouled by Kone, and it's a free kick for Bradford. As we are closing in towards a potential penalty shootout here, as Bradford have sent the ball forward out to the left, and it's a Wycombe throw-in straight out to play. Midway side their own half here, it'll be the captain at the moment, Jack Grimmer, to take the throw. The 30-year-old fullback. But if you could all like, please, that would be fantastic. Really does help the channel grow as much as possible. We've got 2 more commentaries coming up at the end of this week. We've got Arsenal against Newcastle in the Premier League Saturday night, and we have Chelsea taking on Liverpool in the League Cup final on Sunday at 3. Vincent Young, ball forward for Wycombe, cut out by Stubbs, who takes on one Wycombe player, and then Smallwood sends it down the left-hand side. Left-footed ball in behind Jolo, who will get there first, turns away from Kavanagh and clears down the line, and it's gone out of play for a Bradford throw-in. Well dealt with there by Jolo, as he had Callum Kavanagh chasing him from behind. And we're going to get a Wycombe change here. It's going to be a defensive one. It's going to be Nigel Lonvik. Not going to make it yet, though, but he is ready to come on. As in the midfield, it's given away by McDonald on halfway. Wycombe can attack. Down the left to Butcher. Now out to the near side, here to McCleary. Vincent Young making a run beyond him. McCleary keeps it and goes across to the right to Potts and out to the left now to Leahy. As the attack just simmers down ever so slightly, but they're still in the final third here with Vincent Young. Inside to McCleary. Back to Leahy. Down the line to Vincent Young again, who has the ball prodded away from him by Tomkinson. And it will be a throw-in the final third for Wycombe on this near side. Thanks, great commentary. No waffle, professional. Thank you very much. Do appreciate those very kind words. Yeah, no time for waffle around here when we're in the Bristol Street Motors semi-finals, as it will be Dale Taylor, the Northern Irish attacking midfielder on loan from Forest. He'll be replaced by centre-back Nigel Lonvik, who was signed on loan from Wolves in January. So it looks like they're probably going to now allow Luke Leahy to play a little bit further forward and put Vincent Young into left-back. There's been a booking here. Who's he booked here, the referee? Has he just booked Luke Leahy for time wasting? They were just making a change. So the number 10 for Wycombe has been booked. Is it for something he said? Possibly? I'm not sure. He seems as confused as I am. So Wycombe's number 10 is in the book. So we've got 5 minutes to play. And it looks like they're going to launch this into the box. Long throw in here for Wycombe. To the near post here. In it goes. Flicked on. Tafazoli tries to shoot the centre-back. He works out to the left instead here to Leahy, who puts it into the far post. And it's towards nobody. Straight out of play. Delivery needs to be a lot better than that from Luke Leahy, who's got the 9 goals so far this season. Got 12 in all competitions last campaign. And Luke Leahy was yellow carded because he rubbed the ball on the hood of the steward's coat. I'm not joking. I think that's why he's been booked. Because I don't know if you're allowed to dry the ball anymore with other material by your shirt. I have no idea, but that's what they just showed on the replay. He used the hood of the steward's coat to dry the ball. That's why he's been booked. That is ridiculous. That is proper Bristol Street Motors Trophy football, that booking for using the steward's coat to dry the ball. Back underway. Bradford are on the ball, halfway line, forward to Odwar, back into Tompkinson at the back for Bradford, to the near side now to Halliday, about 10 yards inside the Wycombe half, goes back to Odwar. He's been slightly quieter the last 10 or 15 minutes for Bradford, but he has been one of their more exciting players in the match so far. As Odwar, halfway line, he needs to release it. He's tackled by Butcher, but that could have ended up a lot worse there for Bradford. I don't think there's extra time. I am 100% sure I read something that said it goes to penalties. And if it does go to extra time, I can only apologise. But I was doing a lot of research on it, trying to find out if it goes to extra time. And I just couldn't find anything. And then I found something that said it goes straight to penalties. But if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong and I'll hold my hands up. As they're throwing down the line for Bradford. Dealt with by Lonvik, as he dealt with Tyreek right there. And it's played forward down the Wycombe left. Dealt with by Stubbs. Down the line here to Odwar. He's got his back to the Wycombe goal. Plays it back here to Smallwood. Then over the top towards Halliday. Dealt with there by Tafazoli. And there'll be a Bradford throwing on halfway. Halliday at right wing back, driving inside, pass intercepts off Potts, clearance by Lonvik, deflects off Halliday to the edge of the area, headed away by Lowe, forward by McDonald, out to the right by Halliday towards Odwar, who loses out there to Kane, Vincent Young, and that is a throw in for Wycombe in a left back position. So during the knockout phase, up to, but not including the final, if the scores are level at the end of the match, the winner is decided by penalties. In the final, if the scores are equal after 90 minutes, an extra 30 minutes are played, and then penalties. So I think it's straight to penalties, if it is still 0-0. We've got 2 minutes left here. It'll be Halliday to take it for Bradford, the throw-in, which is thrown into the Wycombe half, flicked on by Odwar towards Wright, who just can't quite get beyond Lonvik for Wycombe. And it's a throw-in for the away side, taken quickly here to Vincent Young, pickpocketed there by Halliday, who takes it beyond Lonvik and Tafazoli. What a run! Halliday into the box, needs to find the right pass, but the cross has been intercepted beautifully by Freddie Potts. Thrown his body across it to block that ball into the area. Really well done by Halliday to take 3 Wycombe players out of the game. And as he looked to cross it towards Tyreek Wright, it was a superb block there by Potts. And it still remains 0-0 here. Somehow Wycombe have held on. But can they keep a hold until the end of this game? We've still got some minutes left. In swinger from Odwar to the far post. Header won by Tafazoli, still in the area. Gilead puts it back into the box. It's another header won there by Joe Lowe this time. And it's out to the Bradford left here. McDonald clips it back into the 18-yard box. Header away by Lonvik for Wycombe. And it'll be a throw-in for Bradford in the final third. They do have a long throw-in, so they might just think to launch this back into the area. Bradford have been the team on top. 18 shots, 6 on target, compared to Wycombe's 8 shots, 1 on target. Halliday has it from the return from the throw-in. Goes to his left to Smallwood. Through towards Odwar, who can't beat Lonvik to it. He will clear it down the left, but straight out of play for a Bradford throw. They can continue to maintain this pressure on the Wycombe defence. Halliday has it, waiting for a bit more movement from his players. Throws it to Odwar, lays it back into Halliday. Smallwood switches it across. It's a great ball to McDonald. 5 minutes of added on time here at Valley Parade. Rydhag forward from left centre half. It's now with Gilead. One-on-one with Grimmer. Onto his right foot. He crosses. Header away by Lowe. Back towards Gilead. Header away from him by Grimmer. 1-2 with Kone. Grimmer back to Kone again. Then to Grimmer once more. Butcher's away. Oh, I can't quite release it to him. Fellers, he played it forward, but Stubbs has lost it to Kone. He switches out to the left to Butcher. In the area. Strikes it with his left foot. And it rolls into the bottom right corner. And Wycombe have nicked it in added on time. They have done nothing but defend. But on the break, at the dying embers of the game, it looks like they have nicked their spot at Wembley in the EFL Trophy final. Heartbreak doesn't even describe what these Bradford players are feeling. They have been the such better team throughout the whole 90 minutes. But Wycombe, on their right-hand side, it's Stubbs who have been so good for Bradford. Lost possession to Kone. It's a beautiful ball out to the left. And Butcher, just as he entered the box with his left foot, drilled the shot towards the bottom right corner. No chance for Colin Doyle in the Bradford goal, who was left still as anything. Oh, it takes a slight deflection of Tompkinson, which takes it beyond the goalkeeper. And here at Valley Parade, it's Bradford 0, Wycombe 1. What an upset on the balance of the game. It's been all Bradford. How devastating for the home side, the League Two team, who came in as underdogs and has performed like the favourites. But Matt Butcher, signed on a free from Plymouth in January, gets his first goal for the club in just his 5th appearance. Bradford still have time for an equaliser. There's still 2.5 minutes left to play. But that is soul-destroying. What a goal, though, on the counter from Wycombe. Beautiful assist from Kone. Fantastic finish from Butcher. 2 players who were brought in January. Wycombe have got it up forward here to Kone. Goes back here to Butcher. Over the top ball. McCleary is going to chase this one down the Wycombe right. It will drop to him off the head of Rydhag. And he'll let the ball roll out for a throw-in. Wycombe can take their time here, as they've got 2 minutes until the final whistle. And we were talking about that possible smash and grab. They've smashed it in the back of the net. They've grabbed the win. And it looks like they're going to try and get out of this place as quick as possible and find themselves off to Wembley at the start of April. Throwing down the line here to McCleary. Gets it back to Grimmer. Tackled strongly there by Gilead. Last touch off the Bradford wing-back. And it's a throw-in for Wycombe again in the final third. And it's just about killing the clock now for the away side. What a time to score your first goal, Matt Butcher, who got to the final of this competition last season with Plymouth but fell on the losing side. They have lost the ball here though. Grimmer, the right back, just running out of pitch on the far side. As Bradford are going to make 2 changes right at the death. Bobby Poynton and Harry Chapman are coming on for Richard Smallwood. And Jonathan Tompkinson. That's the player it took the deflection off. The shot was still going on target from Butcher, but it may have been going closer to the goalkeeper, but the deflection took it away from the goalkeeper and into that bottom right corner. Throwing long to the halfway line. Controlled well there by Chapman. Tackled out for another throw in for Bradford on halfway. Gilead's going to launch it forward. And flicked on towards right. Controls it away from Tafazoli. But then it's picked up there by Potts and he's been fouled. It's a heavy one on Freddie Potts there. I think it was by Alex Gilead. Less than 30 seconds now. Or was it possibly maybe Kevin McDonald? Yeah, it was Kevin McDonald, the one who fouled the man who took interim charge of Bradford as a player, interim head coach, where he won 4 of his 7 games in charge before Graham Alexander came in. But we've played the 5 minutes we've added on time. We might get an extra minute or so due to the goal celebrations and the slight stoppages we've had with the substitutes in added on time. But Bradford couldn't have really done much more. Dominated the game, but Wycombe, with their added quality, being the league above, they snatched one at the death. Just waiting for play to get back underway here at Valley Parade. And it's back with Clark Odwar here for Bradford on the halfway line. Goes out to the right to Halliday. Could this be the last chance for the home side as the ball's short? Too short. Vincent Young takes it away. Down the left for Butcher, who can't take on Stubbs. Wins it back for Bradford, who goes back to the goalkeeper of Doyle. Just needs to send this as long as possible. The 38-year-old goalkeeper, who clears it forward into the Wycombe half. Flicked on here by Kavanagh. Tyreek right on the left. Needs to work the cross. It's a low one. Helped onto the near post. It's a great save. It went into Harry Chapman, who got the touch to the near post. But it's a superb save by Max Striak. Good ball as well by Wright. Went in low. And that could be a save that sends Wycombe to Wembley. And it has. The referee's blown the whistle. Wycombe will be at Wembley once again. Most recently, they've been to Wembley in playoff finals, but now it's for a trophy, and that's the EFL trophy. It's something they've never won before. They've never reached the final of the competition before, until now. It's only their second ever semi-final. Their first semi-final ended in defeat to Coventry in 2017, but this time they're victorious over League 2 Bradford, who won't be going to Wembley for the first time in 11 years. You can only feel sympathy and sorry for Bradford, who were absolutely fantastic tonight. But that is just the way football goes. You don't always get what you deserve, and that is exactly what's happened to Bradford tonight. They did everything right but get the ball in the back of the net. Wycombe, they defended for pretty much the entirety of the game, having odd counter-attacks here and there, but the one that they made count the most has got them to Wembley. It was in the 92nd minute. The ball fell to Kone as Sam Stubbs at the back gave away possession in his own half. Kone got it out towards the left-hand side. Butcher took a touch into the box, struck with his left foot towards the bottom right corner, took a slight nick off the centre-back Tompkinson into the bottom right corner, beyond Doyle in the Bradford goal. They created very little in the second half, Wycombe. But with the slight few chances they had, they took the one that mattered most and added on time. His first goal for the club, Matt Butcher, signing on a free from Plymouth in January. And that is well worth the trip for those Wycombe Wanderers supporters. It's a 6-hour round trip, and it's worth every single minute, as they have booked themselves a spot at Wembley to take on Peterborough in the Bristol Street Motors final. They've had to do it the hard way. They've had to do it the ugly way. But it's Wycombe who somehow, somewhere, have got on top of Bradford and have gone through. The mistake that resulted in the goal came from Sam Stubbs, who was trying to take on Richard Kone. Probably doing a little bit too much, really. The Bradford centre-back should have just got it cleared, but instead tried to take him on, was tackled, and next thing you know, the ball's in the box, and the ball's in the back of the net through the left foot of Matt Butcher. That is absolutely devastating for Bradford City, who had won every game. Both sides had won every game in this competition. Bradford had never trailed in this competition this season until 3 minutes left of this game. That's how good they've been in this competition. They trailed for 3 minutes and they're out at the semi-final stage. It's delight for Matt Bloomfield, who's only been in charge of Wycombe for exactly a year now. And despite a disappointing league campaign so far, this is something they can really take as a big positive. A trip to Wembley to take on Peterborough. And it is devastation for Bradford and Graham Alexander, but they can be nothing but proud. They have been just brilliant tonight. They just couldn't get that goal. And in fairness, we can't take away the performance of Max Striek in the Wycombe goal. He was fantastic. He made a lot of big saves in that second half, especially at the end there with that Harry Chapman shot to the near post. But it's Wycombe who find themselves in the final, defeating Bradford here at Valley Parade. And Wycombe will take their time here, celebrating with their travelling supporters. They probably won't face a harder trip all season away from home. The pitch was shocking. The weather wasn't much better. But they've dug in deep as they possibly can, to somehow keep a clean sheet and nick a goal right at the end. Thanks to everyone who did listen into this commentary. I'll try and commentate on the final on the 7th of April, which is about 6 or 7 weeks away. Obviously, I don't know if I'll be available on the 7th of April, but I'll try and commentate on the final, as we have covered both semi-finals over the last 2 nights, and I think we've been treated to 2 decent games. Peterborough were fantastic last night in the first half. The second half wasn't great, but the full 90 minutes of this game, Bradford have been really enjoyable to watch, and you've got to feel sympathy for the fact that they've somehow not gone on and won that game. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, make sure you like and subscribe before you go. 2 more commentaries coming this week. We've got Arsenal, Newcastle on the Saturday night in the Premier League, and we've got the League Cup final as well on Sunday at 3 o'clock between Chelsea and Liverpool. But here from Valley Parade, it is Bradford who crash out at the semi-final stage. It is Wycombe in the final. It's their first ever time in the final of this competition. They're taking on Peterborough. They defended hard. They attacked well when needed. They nicked the goal and added on time. Their new signing, Matt Butcher, on their break, drilled it into the bottom right corner, breaking Bradford hearts. But here at Valley Parade, it ends Bradford 0, Wycombe 1. It's Wycombe in the final, taking on Peterborough in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy final.